Welcome back to Political Hot Seat. It's a live call-in show. You can call 727-8750 to ask our guest, Nye County Commissioner, District 4 candidate Gary Bergman, or Bill Garlow, which is our host, question. We were speaking a little bit about the roads and NDOT when we left, and a caller, Paul, was asking us about the roads and why we don't have them kind of worked on a little bit more. And we were answering about NDOT recently coming out here and talking about the shoulders and what they thought was priority or not based on our population and how much the roads were traveled. I do want to ask, continue with that, of course, with our candidate here, Gary Bergman. But also, Gary, can you tell me about your personal and professional background?
40 years in the steam fitters union, pipe welder. I worked many different phases of that profession and a lot of supervision. I've worked in 30 states. And during these years, after the kids were gone, I have 2 sons and a daughter. My wife and I RV'd for 10 years. Kind of picked where we want to go and work, see the country. And the only good thing I liked about the union, all my benefits are shipped back to my local. But I have my views of the unions nowadays. After being a contractor too. I was a mechanical contractor with clients like General Dynamics and Hughes Aircraft. And I was also in another industry called bicycle motocross. I had my own racing frames, and also we made racing apparel and ran 2 teams around the country. And I had pros even out of Canada. And the bikes were sold worldwide. Did that for a few years until my boy kind of got grown out of that. Then we let it go. But yeah, I'm a family man. I like going to powwows. I'm involved in Native American activities. I've been a chairman of an intertribal organization in Southern California. And I right now have an organization called Intertribal Building Trades and Piping Professionals. This is to protect the union craftsmen that are Native Americans from the unions that are trying to discriminate against them. But that's briefly my little history right there.
So you're a Native American?
Yes, I'm part Native American, but they don't say you're Native American.
Yes, yes. Well, Bergman tips you off right away.
That's my dad's side.
Gary, tell us what you feel about incorporation.
I don't like it. I don't think we need anything that's going to cause us to have more government agencies I mean, it's nice to say you're going to have your tax money here, but there's other ways to do that. I'm against incorporation.
All right, we have a caller on the line, Amy. We're going to go to Amy right now, who's going to ask our Nye County Commissioner District 4 candidate, Gary Bergman, a question.
Well, first of all, I want to tell Bill I love the show.
Hi, Amy.
And I want to ask Gary how he feels about the pay increase that the commissioners have given themselves when they had to cut back on the budget to do that, and how he will make a change commissioner.
Well, I don't know about this pay raise, how much, it's the first I've heard of it. For some reason, it hasn't come across my info deal. But I myself just started drawing my Social Security pension, besides my union pension I've already been drawing, but I will have to get back some of that money or get Social Security to stop my pension to keep one way or the other. So I don't know, that raise won't help me if I'm still drawing my Social Security pension. I'll have to pay $1 on every $2 I make over a budget. But I don't think it's necessary.
Bill?
Did they? Okay, Amy's not there? Okay.
Oh, she out? Oh.
Yeah. All right, well, you said you're Native Indian, and what is, okay, the budget in Nye County, I see in the paper, the sheriffs used too much and this person used too much in that. Don't you believe that the government should work within a budget?
Yes, it's like any business.
And I don't know for a fact, because I'm not sitting in the commissioner's seat or the treasurer's seat or anything, but I could almost bet you a person could find where some's really been wasted that probably could have been better used for the people or for the county.
Well, yeah, and when I was contracting and had my own businesses, I mean, I had to work within a budget. And in fact, that's what made me popular with some of my clients, is because I stayed within my budget and was also able to find things that helped them at no extra cost. So, I mean, when I saw county employees, our town employees, I don't really know who they were at the time, but they were patching holes in the roadway. And it was a typical government deal. I saw one guy with the shovel and 4 standing around.
Yeah, look, yeah.
So I mean, right there, if I was a county commissioner, I'd be over there getting their names and having them talk with their boss and see if that was a problem and that was standard, then maybe we need to have a layoff.
Yeah, well, see, that's what all the government, most of the government jobs, I'm not saying nothing bad about the people, but it seems like money is spent on things that isn't really necessary to spend it on at the time. You know, when the economy's bad, it's bad for everybody. It's bad for me, you, and everyone else. And so you got to do, you know, I got to do a budget for my household.
When I was working the trades, I remember there in California, we had to take a 10-year pay freeze. We didn't get a raise for 10 years.
Right.
But yet government employees were still getting it. You know, I didn't feel that was right. But, you know, the Department of Water and Power in Los Angeles has a good little program. They used to have a civil service for their building trades members. And they were signatory to our local in Los Angeles. So they had their civil service pipe fitters and pipe welders. But if they needed more, they called the union hall. Well, then they started realizing, wait a minute, why are we keeping these guys on payroll, the civil service ones that don't do nothing? Why don't we just get rid of that civil service program and we hire exclusively out of the union hall, so when we don't have a project for them, we lay them off and we don't have that overhead.
Right.
So that's another thing to look at. I mean,
well, you know, Nye County took a hit when the mountain over there, Yucca Mountain,
yeah,
Harry Reid went running around yelling and screaming about it after he's the one that brought it here. But anyway, and so we took a hit on that, and I understand that, and there is, you know, things, obligations like the dust control and that. But I notice most people talk about, and you're being running in a district that's here in Pahrump, but when you're a commissioner, the whole county is your responsibility.
That's
not
right.
Just, you can't go.
They're
up,
all paying me.
Yeah, you can't go up and say, oh, here's Heritage Street. I can't go beyond that. I'm only doing, you know.
Right.
And I think a lot of people get confused on that because you don't just represent the district, you represent Nye County, correct?
Correct. Well, that's just like, for instance, Northwest Arkansas. I was back there looking at property one time, and the real estate agent was driving around. He had a real nice Lincoln Continental. And well, he's out in the dirt road. And I said, I don't want to be on a dirt road. I want to be on blacktop. He said, no, you don't. You want to be on a dirt road. I said, why is that? He said, I'll show you real quickly. So he accelerated it up to 70 miles an hour, hit the cruise control, and we were running nice and smooth. Now, he took me over to a blacktop road. He says, see, I can't set the cruise control because look at all these potholes.
You kept bouncing up.
He says, once a week, every other week, they come here with a grader, smooth it off.
All righty, well, I think we're getting ready to go to another break now. They tell me we need to do that every now and then. So anyway, we will be going to a break, and we will be back right after that break. And remember, it's a live call-in show.